Well, the book is called The Pearl of York, Treason and Plot. It's set in March 1586, so the same time as year as now. It's about Margaret Clitheroe, who was later known as the Pearl of York, and particularly her arrest and trial, which is just a fascinating story, I think. But really interesting for me as well that Guy Fawkes was living in York at the time, and it's very likely they'd have known each other. So I've mixed her true story with some fiction around Guy Fawkes' youth. So he's about 15, 16 at the time, in his final months at St. Peter's School in York, which wasn't where it is today in Bootham. It was in a place called the Horse Fair, which was just off Gillergate and Lord Mayor's Walk, the place where the Union Terrace car park is now. So maybe one day they'll do like they did in Leicester and do some archaeological dig. Who knows what they might find there. But the fascinating thing I was looking at really was two questions. One, the first one, what would have made a happily married woman like Margaret Clitheroe consider becoming a martyr? Some people may know her story. It's a fascinating story, and one with lots of politics and family intrigue behind it. So her father, for example, had been just elected Lord Mayor of York the month before her arrest. So there's obviously something going on there. And I also wanted to know what might have made Guy Fawkes turn from a young Yorkshire lad into a terrorist who wanted to blow up Parliament. So I just thought the whole thing was a fascinating story, particularly the combination of the two. By all the money raised from the profits from the book and also the history talks I do to quite a lot of local history groups, all being donated to St Leonard's Hospice. I think they do marvellous work there. I raised quite a lot of money last year for them when I didn't have a book out, and this year with a new book I'm looking to raise a lot more. And all the action is set in the sort of dark atmospheric streets of Tudor York. So people from York, obviously watching this, you'll recognise many of the locations, the buildings, where the action's taking place. Sometimes they're creeping around in the dead of night and so on, and sometimes they're trying to escape the Sheriff of York's men, and there's various scenes of action going on.